Welcome to Sorry. God, I'm very sleepy. I had such a big lunch. I had sweet potato. And I just sitting in my stomach. Anyway. Hello, welcome to I keep forgetting the name of the show. Hello, welcome to Press the Action Button, where two nerds talk about video games. My name is Newman.
My name is Yusuf.
That's right, and today, actually, I'm doing an old intro. There's no today. Today is just a normal show where we have a normal format of two reviewed games and a game played at the end. Isn't that
Old
right?
Intro? What do you mean?
Yeah, we used to give a hint on the topic of the podcast we were doing. The specific episode.
Oh, right. Well, the title's in this, so they all know.
Forget about it. So, here we are again. Delighted to be back, as you can tell, full of energy.
Here we are again. Here we are, trapped again in this never-ending mess. No, it'll be good.
It will. How are you, Yusuf? I had to ask you as you were drinking.
I am grand. Yeah. Not very much has been going on. I have been playing a game which isn't the game I've been reviewing, so I'll tell you about it right now, because it's a very little silly mobile game.
No.
A little app.
Not like you.
Well, you'll hear about it now. So, you are a big fan of RPGs, particularly the Final Fantasy series.
I am.
What is one thing you love about these different games? It's not the music.
What do I love about them?
Yeah.
That's a hard question to answer, Yusuf.
Yeah. Well,
Japanesiness.
Well, I also think you're a fan of some of the
Don't tell me what I'm a fan of. Sorry, go on.
of the mini games.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Final Fantasy VIII Triple Triad. There's an app you can get, and it's free, and you can play the games on it. And I've been playing that a lot during the week.
Yeah.
It's really good fun. I'll get a little footage and I can show you.
It's a great game.
Yeah, and it's really good crack.
Yeah.
But they've also done kind of extra challenges with it, where after you play through the normal ones, there's all these really hard characters. They take Final Fantasy 7 characters and Final Fantasy 9 characters and summons and enemies that weren't in it, and they make cards out of them which are way stronger than the normal ones.
Cool.
Yeah, and they play the music and all.
And do you play against specific people like you did in 8?
No, so
there's just a random player.
Kind of, there's a challenge. There's not a challenge mode. There's a normal arcade mode where you play 60 rounds against I don't know, maybe 8 people. I think it is 8 different people. And they go up in difficulty through it. And then there is also a challenge mode where you have a set number of cards that you have, and that you don't you don't get to pick which ones you have. You don't actually lose it. It's you always have this underdog hand, and it's can you do it.
Okay.
So that's one, and then you can also play online with some people.
Nice.
Which I haven't done.
Sounds good.
But yeah, it's really good crack. I think you'd enjoy it.
Well, is it free?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, you can pay to unlock stuff, but I don't know why you would.
60 rounds though. That's a lot of rounds.
Oh, well, you don't have to go through all in one go. You can stop
okay.
and come back. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I remember when that game first came out. I think it was in 5th year or 3rd year?
98.
Can't remember. But anyway, I used to get up at 5:30 in the morning and play it before school, and I would just be playing the card game over and over again, pretty much. And one of my brothers, our other brother, ratted me out to our mother and said, "He's getting up at 5 in the morning to play this before school." I could have been doing drugs, but no. I was playing Japanese RPGs.
I remember that was the one that we imported in before you could get it in Ireland.
Possibly, yes.
And it was in Japanese. And the junction system in that game is confusing even if you speak the language, never mind if it's just characters of no idea what's going on, how to play this game. Impossible.
Yeah, I don't know how I managed that, but I mean, that's the kind of attitude that I take anyway now these days. Just skip all the talking and get to the... No, I am half joking. But that was... I remember... I think it wasn't out that much longer in Japan before it was out here.
No, yeah, we couldn't...
It was 2 months or something, 3 months.
We were still quite impatient though.
Yeah.
We were next Final Fantasy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it was awesome. Just 7 was so great. But anyway.
How about you then? How's your week been?
Very quiet, so I wish I had more interesting stuff to tell you.
Nothing really.
I did discover that On Post, who are the Irish Postal Service, have released digital stamps.
I heard about this.
And in likeness of PlayStation and other video game platforms, they've made the digital stamps more expensive than the physical ones. It makes absolutely no sense, but hey, I guess it's a thing. Some business consultant has obviously talked at him and said, you want to make these more expensive than the physical ones. Why? I don't know, but...
Because they can charge more for it. It is really fucking annoying. It's like there's less production here.
Exactly.
You know?
And we all talk about, the green new world and,
Yeah.
You're saving on printing, you're saving on ink, you're saving on shipping. Make it cheaper.
Did you see the, speaking of the green protesters, there's been a lot of green protesters going on lately.
I seen someone destroy the Van Gogh picture. I thought that was terrible.
Yeah, it's covered in glass.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. That's
Yeah. So
right.
so they did it for that, and then they glued their hands to the floor. It's insane. But there's also a thing they're going on where they're pouring out milk, and they're going to like supermarkets, and this is all in the UK as far as I'm aware, and they're just like videos of people just like, emptying out milk on the floor, and it's like security guard just standing there being like, can you please?
What do you want me to do?
Can you please not? And he's like trying to move them away without slipping on the milk and killing them by having them hit the tiles underneath them. But they're all doing that.
That poor mother cow had to give her milk for that, and you just throw it out.
She's not laughing anymore,
No.
Laughing Cow. She's very upset.
Exactly. Yeah, we bought Laughing Cow today. On sale in Dunn's if anyone's interested.
Have you never had Laughing Cow?
No?
It's
Of course you
cheese,
have.
by the way, to people who don't know.
But anyway, this is not the cheese podcast or cheese show, so maybe we should start talking about some video games.
I guess so. Fair enough. So.
All right. So yes, it's my turn to do the news, and of course, I love when I'm in the driver's seat, as I get
Mad
to
obscure.
shock you. No, like, see, I'm disconnected from the world, unlike you are. So you probably heard most of these stories, which I haven't. So I intentionally don't listen to any news stories when Yusuf does his week's story, so I can be like, oh, but Yusuf just things feed through osmosis.
No, Newman doesn't listen to any news anywhere, and I sometimes listen to the radio or read things. Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't give gaming news on the radio.
Well, they did one very big gaming news, but I won't say it yet.
You know what you're going to talk about here,
Yeah.
and it's the Mario movie, isn't it?
Yes.
There's going to be a Mario movie, and Chris Pratt is going to do the voice.
Yeah. Are you recording, by the way?
No, I haven't done anything yet. I don't have that as a story, really.
Okay, that's right.
Okay, but anyway, yeah, so there's going to be a Mario movie, and Chris Pratt is going to play Mario. Now, I do wonder if people are going to have a problem with the fact that he's not Italian, and if he does an Italian accent, are people going to get annoyed about it?
Yeah, I feel like people don't like Chris Pratt.
Yes. Not me. I love Chris Pratt.
I like Chris Pratt. I think he's... I love Krusty. I like Chris Pratt. I love Jack Black, who's Bowser as well.
He'd
quite
be a
good.
great Bowser.
And you never really watched It's Always Sunny, did you?
No, never.
Well, Charlie from It's Always Sunny is the voice of Luigi.
I believe he prefers to be called Charles, Yusuf.
No, he does not. But yeah, so this film that's coming out, I feel like it's a bit of a... Like, I feel like if he did an Italian accent, people would get upset by it, and I feel like if he didn't, people would get upset by it. So I'm just not getting involved with it.
No. I'm just going to watch the movie and enjoy it. But there is one little piece of news that I had about the movie, and people are quite annoyed about this little aesthetic of Mario. Have you seen this?
Yes, I have heard about this.
Here we go, Yusuf. Now, we're going to show this to you up on screen as I'm showing Yusuf. Mario has no ass on the poster for the movie, unfortunately. People are very unhappy about it because Mario typically has a very plump rear end, which one would assume helps him to be so acrobatic and keep his balance and all kinds of,
And most apparently do the ground pound.
Exactly. I mean, look, Mario, maybe they're trying to make him more like a human, but even as a human, that's a very badass. So, I would say they should rethink this. I think this is Sonic all over again.
I think this is worse than Sonic.
This is way worse than Sonic.
Yeah,
I actually didn't think they should have caved on Sonic, but that's just me.
I think I've said this before, right? So I don't want to go on it for too long, but I work in VFX. They decided to make Sonic look exactly like that because some gobshite in marketing said, I want to look exactly like this. And I'm certain all the artists were going, we can make him look like Sonic, which everyone knows. Like, it's really, we know how to do that. And they were like, no, he needs to look like this for some reason. Like there would have been so much time gone in to make him look like the horrible version.
Some fat guy in a suit was like, "Nah, make it more edgy."
Yeah,
and then as soon as it came out, I was like, "This looks terrible."
It's like, this is demented. And no one loves this character. It's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, my daughter loves Tails. I think they're missing a marketing thing with Tails. Tails is very popular with my daughter for some reason. So, anyway, on to the first story, Yusuf.
Yes.
BMW Air Console team up for in-car gaming.
What?
Yeah, they're going to make an in-car video game that you can play through your central infotainment system.
Really?
Yes, that's right, Yusuf.
I assume not while you're driving.
Well, preferably not. But the passenger maybe. But do you know Tesla was the first one to do this actually? Would you believe?
Really? Well, they've got a huge screen. Do you ever see the size of the screen on Tesla?
It's ridiculous.
It's insane.
But I think I remember Elon Musk saying something about he wanted to make The Witcher playable on it.
Yeah.
And it was. Yeah. Someone made it playable eventually, which I think is amazing. But anyway.
Do you ever see all the stuff where people make Doom, the old school Doom, playable on things?
No.
Someone made it playable in Notepad, and it looked like I was having an epileptic fit. It was so intense, just like the flickering of these little like brilliant lines.
Someone should do it on like an old analog phone.
Oh yeah, I think maybe they have. They've
like
done it on those screens in McDonald's where you order from the screen. Yeah. Someone put Doom on that.
That's brilliant. I love gamers. I love gaming culture. Anyway, I'm not going to read all this, but it's basically gamers rise up. Wealthy gamers, that is. I like that, because if you're going to buy a BMW, you will most likely have to be wealthy. But so they're going to make this via a partnership with Air Console. They will leverage our innovative technologies combined with a broad range of variety, fun and multiplayer games. So, yeah, as you can see, Yusuf, here's a screenshot of the car. It looks like it's playing Mario Kart.
Wow.
Which wouldn't really make sense, because I'm not sure they'd have the rights for that. But anyway, there you go.
That's mental.
That's the basic crux of the story. I won't read it because I don't want to go on. Okay, now let me see. Lab-grown brain cells play video game Pong.
This is more dystopian than I think.
It is dystopian.
Articles.
The reason I didn't really like this story, but
No.
there's a reason why I did like it, because they for some reason put an image here, and I didn't really understand why. So anyway, they seem to have made this plate of brain cells be able to play the game Pong. But the thing that they went for in terms of the screenshot was for some reason they put the Terminators in there, and it doesn't follow anything in the story. I've read it. Underneath the caption is, the researchers say their mini brains are more adaptable than current AI systems, and so may provide the basis for more adaptable robots. With, as you can probably see now, people screenshot of two Terminators.
Like the orange sky of like a nuclear fallout.
And the red eyes. Like, I mean, who?
But I mean, we heard that headline and we got frightened as well. I think this is what it's all leading to.
It doesn't connect to Terminators, though. I mean,
it's the first step.
Yeah, no.
Skynet's become sentient.
And, well, self-aware.
Self-aware.
Yeah.
Same thing, isn't it?
Is it? No. I don't know. Anyway. I actually really like the modern Terminator movies while we're at it. I know people don't seem to be that happy with them, but I did like the one with Arnie and Emilia Clarke recently, and then I didn't like the most recent one, though, I have to say. I thought it was a bit, when they brought back the original Sarah Connor.
Oh, she's great though.
She is very good.
She's very good.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a big fan of them, to be honest. No. They're okay.
Okay. Well, we'll beg to differ. Now, look, the last story, I didn't have much gaming news, to be honest. You probably heard more news than me, but I did have an opinion piece that I thought I would run by you for your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy has written a piece for Collider.com, and he's basically talking about the fact that Disney has dominated so many areas in pop culture, movies, music, cartoons, merchandise, but they never really seem to crack the gaming world. And there's, and he's kind of trying to get to that point where he's asking, well, why is that, And it is a good question, because they've got so many unique characters who they could use. They time things quite badly, should we say. I mean, I know when they released the Aladdin video game, it was apparently 6 months after they released the movie.
Right, okay.
You would think there'd be the perfect time for, getting the most out of that release, but they obviously didn't do that. But, he's basically saying that even the former Disney CEO, I think he stepped down last year, Bob Iger, admitted that they've really underperformed in this market. And, he's kind of just basically trying to find out why. So, I mean, what would you think off the top of your head why they haven't been able to crack the market?
I think, back in the SNES days and maybe early PlayStation days, some of those games were quite good fun.
Yeah.
You know, like Aladdin, like you say, or like the old Lion King.
Lion King, yeah.
And then I think for a long time there were just those lazy tie-ins where there would be like a like I haven't played this game, but like a Toy Story one or a Monsters Inc. one or a Cars one, and they would just be these really lazy skins of games, and they, you know, those ones where they're out on everything at once. You know, it's just like you get it on Game Boy Advance or PlayStation or Xbox. Like, they're completely different games. Like they have to be.
Yeah.
And I just think that maybe at the time that they're kind of going, okay, look, just chuck it out, we'll get some money off it. Whereas actually making a game around a character can cost a lot of money.
It can, but like here's the thing, right? They've invented all these original characters for movies. Why don't they invent an original character just for a game? Release merchandise on it, like do the whole spiel, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like they're short of money. They have historically like outsourced a lot of their video games, right? To these big companies, including what is it? Konami, I can't remember who did, but there was a lot of big name companies who did their games and did them quite well. Even on the PlayStation, I remember playing Hercules, and I thought that was a pretty good game. Tarzan on the N64 was a very good game. So I mean, but yeah, it's true. Like, but he's basically saying that they chose to do things at the wrong time. They weren't innovative in terms of what they released. It was all, as you're saying, very similar to like when they release a movie, they'll make a game that doesn't seem to have much development in it. But I guess they apparently closed up their Disney studio that they had just for making video games. Oh, sorry, I should say that they did apparently have a bit of a turnaround when they did Skylanders. Oh, not Skylanders, Disney Infinity, where you would actually get the character, the physical character, and play it in game. Yeah. But apparently it died out. It lost popularity quite quickly. It lost steam. But I mean, that would seem like a good, because even now, I don't know if you've seen, they have these Tonys things. Have you seen them?
Tonys?
Yeah, no. TONIS. So this little box now. I know this because I've got young kids, but they're little box, and you get a little figure, like a Disney figure or any figure. You put it on the box, and it reads the story of that figure.
That's cute.
Yeah, so it's like Skylanders and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think, you know, if they were going to crack the market in some way, I would say that would have been the first way to do it. You know, but for whatever reason, it didn't seem to really take it off.
But it's just, I don't know. It seems like they're not trying to do it properly. Like, it seems with Skylanders, it's always like gimmicky, you know, where they're like, oh yeah, and then you can keep buying this stuff. It's like, you know, you could just develop the thing, and you know, it's like Earthworm Jim and Pokemon were two games which developed these huge franchises and worlds around them to sell the game. Yeah. So yeah, I think it would be really easy for Disney to do that, especially now they have their own platform and they want more content on that's going to be exclusive to them. Why not take a? I think actually you did see they're doing something like this, like a Moana game where you're going to be, what's the name of the Rock's character in Moana?
Maui, yeah,
they're doing like a Maui one, which is like based on Hawaiian and what's the type of the part of the world? You know what I mean? Yeah. That area, their kind of heritage, and the hero in those same tales where he like lassoed the sun and pulled it down. Yeah. So they're doing a game like that, but it seems like why wouldn't you tie into that stuff?
Yeah, so I mean, it's not something that I really thought about, but yeah, apparently Disney Interactive shut down in 2016. Oh no, Anyway, I don't know the year, but it shut down. We can maybe put a link to the story, but I thought it was really good read because it also talked about how the Star Wars games had been, contracted out to EA, I think it was, and so it's it's a head scratcher, something I didn't particularly think about until I read this story, and I was like, yeah, you know what, for such a company that's so massive with so much resource, with so many unique IPs, they really haven't cracked the gaming market, and it's such an attractive part of the market for any company these days. So
it seems so weird though, because like it seems like Disney reasonably recently became this huge behemoth. Like it seems like they weren't that massive before, but then it seems like the Marvel stuff just took them to another level. Because then it was then they bought Fox. You know, and then they owned
Star Wars.
Yeah, and they owned all those things, and but it seems like for a long time it just wasn't like, because in the earlier X-Men stuff, like that wasn't Disney. You know, but now they want all those things.
But so interesting piece. Anyway. I just thought it'd be something different because there wasn't too much gaming news that I saw.
I know. I've one little bit of gaming news actually. Did you see the Bayonetta 3 news?
No, I have not.
So there was the woman who did the voice acting of the first two Bayonetta games. She's not in the third one.
Okay.
And the third game's coming out quite soon, possibly by the time this comes out. And
did Hideo Kojima make these games?
No.
Not getting David Hayter back.
But they asked. She said like she wasn't going to do it, and she actually broke her NDA, so she might get in trouble for this.
Oh dear!
But she said that put a lot of videos out on Twitter, and last time I saw it had like 7 million views.
Wow. Complaining?
Yeah, saying the reason was they offered her $4,000 to do the game, to do the voiceover for the game.
Good God.
And it's just like, she's been doing this for years. Like, that's such a huge series, going to make so much money. It's like, look, how do you...
That's poor, $4,000, come on.
Yeah, if you're going to be the lead in a game, right, that's going to make millions and millions.
Yeah.
Like, you would have to do one every single month to get like a pretty basic salary. Yeah. Because especially I think she's American. Like if you're living in, maybe she's not, but anyway, if you're living in America or the UK, and if you're coming out with like $44,000 equivalent to the UK, you're not getting by comfortably at all. So
absolutely.
it's a bit mad. They're kind of going, well, what's this? But then they replaced her with somebody who I believe is quite a veteran as well. So maybe they just didn't like her for some other reason.
Maybe,
I don't know.
Yeah, it was a way of getting her out of the door, saying we'll lowball you until you kind of walk yourself.
Yeah. But maybe there's some other reason they didn't want to work with her. But I've heard things before about them getting in voiceover people for games and them getting these NDAs and just getting these scripts to read and they don't know what the game is.
Yeah.
And then they're like...
How advantage of
I don't know what's going to happen. Then I think there was one guy, he was in Fallout. I think he was quite a big character in Fallout 4. And then he was just like, they basically lowballed him and he comes out and he's like, oh, that's a massive, massive game.
Yeah.
You're going to make an insane amount of money off me.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. I do think that there's a massive disconnect between these developers and like what they think the audience is. They're like, guess what, people? We're going to get Pauly Shore to voice such and such, and they think everyone's going to be like, yes! It's like, I really don't care who you get to voice anyone, to be honest. Unless it's David Hayter. Unless it's an incredibly unique person like him, I'm not interested who voices who. Anyone that can do a half-decent voice is good enough for me.
But the thing is that you love David Hayter because David Hayter developed his persona from doing a great voice acting,
absolutely.
You know what I mean? Which I think, I don't really get the whole thing of like, I don't want actors to do it. Like, not that some of them aren't great, some are brilliant, but that's not what I'm looking for.
No, neither do I. I mean, I would not pay any more to hear Chris Pratt do a voice than some unknown actor.
Or the original Mario guy.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's Hollywood at its best. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so will we get into the first game?
Yes, let's go.
Okay, Now, Yusuf, you always complain that I haven't chose modern games recently, don't you? You do.
Yes, that's
so I have chosen a game from 2021.
Oh.
June of 2021, in fact. And here we go.
Oh.
Now, any idea what this is?
I feel like I do recognize this.
Yeah.
Oh, God. No, what's it? What is it?
It's Monster World 4, Asha in Monster World. Now, I have been a little bit tongue-in-cheek here because this is a remade version.
Clearly it is.
Of an old Sega Genesis game, which is Monster World 4.
This looks gorgeous.
Isn't it just beautiful? It's so charming. The colours are so vibrant. Like, I don't know what it is, but recently I've just been in the mood to kind of play these kind of games. And like, do you know what it really reminds me of? A game that I absolutely is probably my top 10 games, if not top 5 games ever. Tomba.
Oh, yeah.
Tomba for the PlayStation. It's very much like that. It's a 2D side-scrolling game, but it also has kind of like depth.
Yeah.
So you go back and forth. Like, look at the colours and that. Like, it's just beautiful.
All the stuff that's going on with the depth really makes this feel really cozy or something.
Yeah.
Ah, look at him.
Yeah, he's great, isn't he? Yeah, so, like, look, I mean, I will say that, it's a pretty basic game, right? And you can see the boss battles are, they're pretty simple. The boss battles were very, very enjoyable, though, I have to say. But, yeah, it's, look, I have to say that it is of its time. Right?
Yes.
I mean, they took the original game, they remade it, they HD remastered it, they did basically build it from the ground up. And the cool thing about this is as well that you get a DLC code. Now, you can see here, actually, when you go back in the background, like, I actually really like that.
Yeah.
It's a very simple way to make a game feel, like it has more to it. And there is things that are discoverable in the background that aren't in the foreground. But as they give you a DLC and you can get the original game.
Oh, cool.
And so you can see you have this little kind of creature that comes along with you. I can't remember his name.
Poor fella.
But no, he actually likes fire.
All right.
He likes fire, and he helps you fly.
Whatever you tell yourself to make yourself feel better.
he can sit on top of lava streams, and you can fly up through him. But the backgrounds really remind me of like Sonic 1, Green Hill Zone, where they kind of had different kind of stuff going on. But look, I can kind of say that it is kind of somewhat like an action RPG in that you can get different swords, you can get different shields, they do different things. Is it challenging? Absolutely not.
Right, I was going to say to you, is it tough?
No, it's not at all challenging. It's all about the kind of basic fun.
And is it fun?
It is fun. But as you can see, like, there's not much nuance to the battling, it's just like, it's slash or block.
Yeah.
or jump and hit someone from on top.
Also, that was going on for a very long time.
Yeah.
Running.
And, but yeah, the boss battles were interesting at least, right? So you can see this is one of the levels, the ice levels, where you kind of have a more slippery ground and you have to kind of pace yourself differently. And the little guy you have with you, forgive me guys, I don't remember his name, what he's called, but he kind of grows during the game, and he can kind of learn a few different abilities. Like at the start you can kind of move with him above your head, but then at the end he's too heavy, so you're actually stuck in the ground with him.
Okay.
And at that stage, like, you can see where I'm sliding across the ground there. But I love enemies like this because they're just hilarious.
Yeah, he's got a good face.
Yeah, but they can't. He can't hurt anyone really. But there is a point where at this game, and spoilers, he does kind of come in to save you once or twice, and it's kind of really kind of sweet.
Sweet, yeah.
But do you know this background style really reminded me of Mickey Mouse's Castle of Illusion?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say this is very Sonic, I think, as well.
It is, yeah. It's the background is kind of the roly Sonic, but. Yeah, there's this kind of magic carpet area, which is kind of very short. But look, I mean, to be honest, the thing I liked most about this game was the visuals.
Yeah.
The story is very, very basic. You're basically this girl that goes out on an adventure. You meet the queen who asks you to go and rid the certain lands of these monsters, and you go and do that. And the town kind of gets overrun by the similar creature you have, but they start influencing people in bad ways. And just kind of start going evil.
Right.
But
bit Gremlinsy?
Yeah, it's a bit like that, but I just love this. Like, look how much fun this is. I'm just jumping through the throne room.
Is it Square Enix?
No, it's not.
Really?
I can't remember who it is. Made by Artlink. It was originally made by Westone. So it's not a big developer or anything, but there were
very similar tie-ins to.
This is the original.
Yeah.
That you get the download code for.
Very similar tie-ins to Dragon Quest.
Yeah, probably. Dragon Quest was a Sega game as well, wasn't it?
Was it? I thought it was Square. Maybe you're right. I think you're right. It's Sega.
Yeah. Well, it was on the Genesis, right?
Yeah.
Originally, yeah. Not a house for many RPGs, but yeah. Look, it was a super charming game. I finished it within a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Okay.
Playing it.
How much was it?
I think I paid €23 for it. I've been getting a lot of good games on Amazon recently for like really good prices. So yeah, I was very happy with this, and the thing about this I liked was that this game, this downloadable version, I don't think you can actually find it on the PlayStation Store without the code.
Right. Okay.
Do you know, because I actually searched for it to try and add the code post adding it to my basket, and I wasn't able to. I had to do the code and that kind of stuff. But yeah, look, I mean, it's a pretty good game. Is it a great game? No.
Right.
No, it's not a great game. Will it give you a couple of fun hours? Yes.
Okay. I guess depends what you're looking for.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I wouldn't rate it particularly highly. I would like to give it more than I am going to give it, but I would give it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's got a lot of charm, but it seems pretty basic.
Exactly. Like, basic to a fault, right? I mean, when I saw the kind of screenshots of it, I saw like all the different shields and all the different swords, and I thought, oh, this is going to be like, there's going to be more to the combat, but it didn't turn out like that. So look, I mean, for people like me who just want to sometimes play a cutesy fun game, it's good. So yeah, but I'd say a lot of people would rate it significantly lower than I did. Right. But 6 out of 10 is fair.
Alright, after you finished the remake version, were you able to like go and finish the retro one, or was it like too similar?
Wasn't interested. Yeah, it was.
Right.
It was too similar for me.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I would love to play a Tomba again. The only problem is you have to have the original.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen it on any virtual console or anything. So,
really?
And like original that's going for a couple of €100 on eBay and stuff because it's so rare. I know there's Tomba 1 and Tomba 2. So, developers of Tomba, there's great demand from me to remake this game.
Is that great demand, or is that really poor demand? One man.
I guarantee you there's a whole suite of people from the last 30 years dying to play Tomba again.
There's literally dozens of us out there.
There is, exactly. So answer the market's demand here, please. But anyway, yeah, so that's my game.
Okay, cool.
Right.
Sounds fun. Well, let's go to mine.
Let's go to yours.
So there we are now.
Ah.
So do you know what this is?
Has to be Yakuza.
It is Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Ah, God, I love those environments. Oh, there's two of the same girl walking with the phone. Come on, so.
So, right. So this is the RPG Yakuza game. There's been a whole series of them. And yes, it's very Japanese, very much set in Japan. And I'm going to start with a minor criticism, but not of the game overall. But you saw recently I did Ghostwire Tokyo, which looked fantastic and didn't have that kind of thing where like there's two of the same people and the graphics were better there. But there's so much going on in this game. It is brilliant. So it is the first one of these games to be an RPG, and you can see it's a turn-based RPG.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
no way.
So yeah,
Did you get me this game?
I think I did.
Okay.
I insist I did, but you always say I didn't.
Okay.
And so you think you have played a Yakuza game before, didn't you? Mm-hmm. I'm surprised it hasn't had the impact on you.
It wasn't this one.
No, definitely not this one, because it was a couple of years ago I think. So here he's coming up against a degenerate, and there he is. It's so weird, this game, and it's so funny, and it's brilliant. So the first Yakuza game I played was Yakuza 0, which is a prequel of the long running story, and it was so amazing. I loved every second of it. I think it was like a 10 out of 10 game. So I always wanted to get into some of the other ones, but I didn't really know where to start. And I left away from them for a while. So Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is this one here, is a separate spin-off. So I don't think it's so far as I've played. I haven't finished it yet. It's a very long game. It is quite a different game storyline to the other ones, as it's all, you're formerly a Yakuza member, or you're dealing with organized crime in different parts of Japan. But you do lots of similar things. You can do karaoke. You can do a lot of these items are the same, the way things work. But this one has so many more old school RPG elements than I thought.
So it looks great.
Yeah. So I'm using a fire attack, which this guy is weak against here, but the person who's doing it is a homeless person, so he breathes alcohol breath and lights it on fire. This guy is a former cop, so he's a detective. And as you play through the game, you can unlock things. This is Pound Mates, which is a summon. So I'm calling in Gary Buster Holmes to be my summon for this man.
He looks like TJ Combo.
He does. And these games are so weird, right? But the storyline is so fantastic. I'm so invested in it, and I don't know how it does such a good job of going back and forth from being this really silly, doesn't take itself seriously at all, to very funny, to really serious then storylines where you're going, the drama of this is fantastic. I realise maybe it's because I don't play very many games where it's like set in a real life. You know what I mean? Like, there is no giant existential threat to this world here. You are just a real person, going around these things. So I did an exam to improve my personality traits, and this is the sequence you get when it happens.
That's amazing. I love this kind of humor.
Yeah. So it's just like, these guys don't know who they are. They are not characters. They're just there to celebrate with me because I passed an exam.
That's amazing.
So like,
I love how everyone's in a suit as well.
So like I was saying, loads of like the RPG elements in this game that's different, right? So it's also full of its mini games. So this is a mini game where I run into a guy who has an old theatre, an old cinema where he plays classic films, and no one goes to it because they find it really boring. So you have to go in and you have to try and stay awake. So this mini game is you need to beat the sheep which are trying to lull you into sleep by pressing different codes for it.
That's awesome.
There is like a cart mini game. You have to go around and collect cans, which is really good fun. There is like a karaoke one as well, which is like a rhythm action one. There's so many of these different ones in it, these different games you can do. You can go to like casinos and play these different like slot machines and everything. it's full of them,
Yeah.
which is all very true of the original Yakuza series. But what this adds is you got your party members, right?
Yeah.
And your party members have different jobs, like RPGs, and you know you can go up levels, and they can learn skills from it. Then with different jobs they can equip different weapons and armor, and then you can upgrade them by going to like a blacksmith, and it's so good.
Nice.
But this kind of stuff here, right? This is the storyline stuff, which is just, it's so heartfelt.
Yeah.
And it's so believable. And like there's bits on it where...
Looks amazing.
Yeah, it's just like I'm biting my knuckles, really. I'm like, oh God, what's going to happen here? You know, and it's just, it's so... it's got so much heart in it, and it's just so much fun as well.
Amazing.
Fantastic game.
It just looks so great, doesn't it? I mean, like the facial movements, like the backgrounds... it looks absolutely great.
Yeah, like it all works so well together as a whole. It's not the most, like, as I was saying, like Ghostwire perfect looking game, but it's because there's so much more going on in it than that game. Like, that was a great game, but there's just way more people you run into on the street here, way more things you can do, you know, the way you can change what you look like, and you know, you run into a restaurant or something, then you can order the meal of that restaurant there, and then you can have different effects on your party, and you need to figure those things out. Brilliant game.
Awesome. I'm
still playing it.
Yeah.
That's very limited part of the footage there because I didn't want to ruin any story stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a good bit further on than what I've shown you the recording there, but so far it's like a 9 or 10 out of 10. It's fantastic.
Wow. I can't wait to play.
Highly recommend.
I will have to play.
Yeah.
The problem is now when you do a game, and I want to play it, I can't review it myself the next week, so I'm going to have to...
We don't have to review it. We can still play in your own free time.
Do the same game every week.
Now it's Newman's take on the first half of Yakuza Like a Dragon.
I can't remember if you did it last week. Yeah. Tell you one question that I have about it. The fighting looked very easy there. It looked like you had no challenge whatsoever there in that battle with that streaker dude.
So...
Is it too easy?
I don't... No, so that was very early on,
okay.
Right? So that streaker dude was kind of a sub-story where basically it's like Pokemon, where he's giving you a pervert dex, like a Pokedex, and you need to like fill it up. Not everyone's a pervert, some of them are just normal criminals and people that you fight.
Yeah.
But it's like you have this dex of like, you know, I fought this person, that's what it's like. So that was like an introduction to that thing there. I cut it out, but there's a bit where a guy like rocks up and he's like a scientist, he's got like a big scar on his face and like a big lab coat, and he's like, thank you, you've captured this man. But anyway, sorry, so it gets more difficult, and if you go to a bit where you're under leveled for it, you will just die.
Okay.
You will die immediately.
Well, that's good, because I do remember the one that I did play, the combat was just way too easy. It was just destroying everyone all the time, so I was like, But anyway, good. Cool.
Yeah, no, so far it's good. I do believe, I was looking at, there's a YouTube channel, PlayStation Access, which is the official UK PlayStation channel, and there is a girl on it, I believe her name is Rosie, and she's fantastic at games. You just see her playing like Crash and those really difficult levels, just being unbelievable at it, and she's mad for platinums. And she was saying that like the hardest platinum she ever had to get was this game.
Really?
At the end of it, there's like a tower that you have to do, like, you know, Colosseum kind of thing.
Yeah.
And just said it was just impossible to get there. So I think if you want the challenge, it's certainly there.
Okay, lovely.
Yeah.
Well, that's one I should check out.
Yeah, highly recommend it. And if you haven't played any Yakuza games, I think Like a Dragon is the first one that's on PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
If you don't have a PlayStation 5 yet, or if you don't want the RPG element, Yakuza 0, fantastic. You don't need to know anything about the others. Brilliant game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I like the RPG element, you know. That's even more of a draw for me, so I'll have to play that game now.
And the storyline as well, it's just excellent.
Yeah. Cool. All right, so shall we get to our weekly game?
Yes, let's give it a go.
Well, I think this week, might have to sync your pad, we're going to be playing one of the free games. One of the free games being Hot Wheels. Okay, so we're going to play Hot Wheels Unleashed, this week's month's free game, one of them. As I was saying previously, which you wouldn't have heard, we were greeted to some loot boxes, it seems. They're going to do each car like it's a special event rather than giving it them, which Yusuf does not like.
I do not.
And I also do not like. We'll do a quick match. Have you started here, Yusuf? Have you?
It's a creative.
Where are you? so yeah.
That's my accelerator option locked.
Oh, good God. Okay.
Or no, maybe the ability to move the buttons to a different thing is locked. Not my ability to speed up.
You gotta pay for the buttons. Okay, where's my GIF vehicles? That's okay. There's some pretty good GIF vehicles here. What do I got here? Twin mill. And I'm not gonna pick a Gucci car. I have to pick.
No, that's why I picked it.
Oh, for God's sake!
You can pick the same.
No, I'll pick the Gucci.
Ooh.
Okay, we have to unlock the tracks.
Let's go with the
right,
first.
We'll do this one, yeah. Okay, so thoughts so far, Yusuf?
Not good.
Yeah, I think it looks cool.
I mean, look, it looks great, but I mean, it's absolutely infested with advertising, and you want us to pay for everything.
There's no one in the car. There's one of those ghost cars.
This world's covered in ghost cars.
Do you know? I think the best people, I don't know, the best game like this. I love the sound through the controls and nothing else. Is Mashed.
Mashed is great fun.
Mashed is the best multiplayer game of all time. After.
I mean, you don't believe that.
I really do.
Multiplayer game.
Yes.
Better.
For a couch co-op racing game.
Yeah, there you go.
After Mario Kart Double Dash.
God almighty.
Yes.
Where am I?
I said it. No, look, I I think Hot Wheels were the one. No, that was Micro Machines. Remember Micro Machines?
Micro Machines was good fun.
Yeah, that was similar to MASH, where you had to kind of get out of the screen to win the race.
Yeah.
Am I still recording this, by the way?
I don't know. I hope so.
Yeah. So you had to beat your opponent and get out of the screen to kind of knock them out, and then you would get more and more goals until all their lives were gone.
Yeah.
That was just so much fun, like as a couch co-op. But yeah, look, racing games. What can you say about them?
That was good fun. No, I think that the Micro Machines was a brilliant game. I just meant if you were saying best multiplayer before you said best racing co-op multiplayer, I was like, yeah, that's fine, but just best multiplayer it is.
Well, what's better?
As a multiplayer game?
Yeah.
Street Fighter?
No.
Street Fighter. You would rather play Micro Machines than Street Fighter?
Micro Machines or Hot Wheels?
Micro Machines.
Or Mashed. I said Mashed.
Mashed. Alright, Mashed.
Yeah, Mashed I would. Absolutely.
Really?
I'd 100% rather play Mashed than Street Fighter.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
Tekken Tag?
Maybe not Tekken Tag, but it depends. I mean, you can probably play about 6 rounds of Tekken Tag and you're like, what's next?
Mario Kart?
No, Mario Kart's better.
Well, then there you go.
Yeah, well...
And in fact, that doesn't qualify for even your original limited one, as it's a racing game.
Listen.
My
stuff makes sense.
I will say this is actually quite good fun.
It is, isn't it?
This feels a lot more fun than we did Sonic Team Racing the other...
Yeah, definitely. But the problem is I'm in first and I've made very little effort to be...
Oh, God.
But anyway, do you know the funny thing, and I'm probably going to make some people angry here, but I actually don't like the fact that McDonald's now give the kids either a cardboard toy or a soft toy, and most of the time it's a cardboard toy or a book. Now, I'm old school, and like I had... I remember as a kid getting the little toys from McDonald's, and they were just so cool, little plastic toys. I understand it's a different world now, but my point is that in Burger King they still do the plastic toys, and the recent plastic toy they had was Hot Wheels.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh.
How do I buy this? I have no coins.
You need 300 coins. Maybe get it by playing the main game.
It seems that way. What's this basement? Oh, did you get one in each one? Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah. So yeah, we got the physical Hot Wheel toy.
Yeah. And you took it off your son and you played with it.
Of course. Or you got a Barbie. But anyway, yeah. So yes, I did take it off my son. I didn't play with it. Actually, yesterday I was at the playground, and in Malahide, people might know it. It's the posh side of Dublin. I'm not too familiar with it, but they had this playground there where there was like diggers, like a sand pit. And
are you sure you didn't break into a construction yard again?
But anyway, they had these diggers, and is this the same level?
It is the same level.
I don't think it is.
It definitely is.
It is. Okay, sorry folks. But anyway, so they had this digger where you had the sand pit and like you could move each like lever to like move the thing, and like I was having way too much fun with it. And like I noticed that I wasn't the only one. It's like, you know, your kids sitting in front of you basically controlling everything because they can't reach it far enough. I looked over and there was another dad there on the other side doing the exact same thing. So it's like, you know, clearly a game for the dads.
Do you remember the episode of Malcolm in the Middle where it's like Hal takes the baby to like the class, and for some reason it's all the dads have them for the first time.
Oh yeah,
they're all doing bets with them. They're like sliding them across the floor. Yeah.
I used to love Malcolm in the Middle.
It's great.
I remember when it first came out, people were like, "Oh, it's the real life Simpsons." It's like it's nothing like the Simpsons.
It was a very good show, really good show,
and
introduced the mainstream world to Bryan Cranston.
That's right. Whatever happened to the main guy out of that?
He retired. He actually became like an F1, a hobbyist F1 driver. I think.
Malcolm did?
Frankie Muniz.
Frankie Muniz,
yeah.
Fair play to him.
Yeah, I think he retired. I think he was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, you know, fair enough. He's like, I made loads of money. I don't want to continue doing this. So
yeah, fair enough.
Enjoy your life, man.
It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what being famous would be like. I really wouldn't like it, to be honest. You know, but yeah. So thoughts, Yusuf? Thoughts on this so far?
It is good fun. I am enjoying it. I do see what you mean. It's not the most difficult, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's stuff you unlock later on, but the fact is, just kind of racing. It feels like it should be a bit of a wackier racer game.
Yes.
You know. Like, I feel like I should get items.
Yeah, I get the feeling that perhaps this is a little bit of hoping people will get addicted to the cars and just pay for them, so they can drive the cooler cars.
Have you ever been a fan of more serious driving games?
Like not really.
No.
No.
Gran Turismo.
No. I mean, I love cars, absolutely love cars, but back then I was too young, probably. But you?
No, I got a what was it? I think when we first got the PlayStation 2, when was Xbox? I'm not sure. I think PlayStation 2 anyway. I got a Ridge Racer, Gran Turismo. I think Gran Turismo 5 with it.
Right.
And I didn't really know anything about it, but you know, when you're that age, you don't buy games. You get games for 2 a year, and that's what you play. Hey, I like this already. But I was playing that for ages, and I was going and I was unlocking, and it took a while for me to figure it out because I'm like, just hold accelerator loads, and it's like, that's not how you play those games. You need to brake at the right point, be in the right gear at the right point, and I was playing it, and for ages unlocking bits and just slowly building up my car, and I was enjoying it, and then my file got corrupted. And then I never played one of them games again.
There's nothing worse than when your file gets corrupted. It's just there's no coming back from it.
It just feels unfair.
It's so unfair. Now this is a bit better.
Yeah.
We've got booster kind of things on the ground.
Ooh.
I don't know what's wrong. Do you ever wake up and your vocabulary is just really bad?
No.
That happens to me. There's some days where I can just be really eloquent with language, and other days where it's like I've lost the basic use of the English language.
Sleep deprivation for having young children.
I don't know. Possibly. I'd love to figure out why it happens and how I can stop it from happening. If anyone knows, please let me know what's wrong with me.
I have a few theories.
Yeah. But yeah, so look, I always love the games where you are kind of in a miniature world, you know? I love those little models, like, where you can build, like, mini ships and stuff, and, you know, it's like you can then be in them yourself.
You ever built a miniature ship in a bottle?
I haven't. It sounds way too frustrating. Have you?
No, I haven't. My wife likes building little model things, like little sets. Like, she got one during lockdown, where it's like you get like a little
living room
house, and it's like all these like bookshelves, like these little individual books on it, and you put stickers on it. At the end, it's like in a little glass case.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I love those. I love bonsai trees. You know, there's something really cool about them. But they actually had this show on Channel 4 there recently that was like the Great British Bake Off, except it was miniature building.
Oh, I've seen the ad for it. Yeah,
it was really cool. I don't know what it is. I just really love that.
There is something really nice about miniatures. Yeah. Like, do you remember as a kid seeing like the ads for it was like a toy truck, and you opened the back of it, and it was like all the racing world inside the toy truck.
Oh yeah, it was like what was it? Not Mighty Max, it was something like that. Remember?
Yeah.
You get the little monster things, and there'd be a little Max inside, and you have your little world like Polly Pocket.
Yeah.
The boys version.
They're great.
Those were the days. You know what else I miss, Yusuf?
Welcome to Nostalgia Chat.
Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to those? I mean, like...
I think they're still on.
They're not.
I mean,
they have whole channels now to themselves, but there was just something magical about like the kind of caliber of show you would get on a Saturday morning. Getting up early, having your sugary cereal, which is terrible for you, by the way, and then yes.
I just figured out there's a boost.
Well, no wonder you've been shit.
I came second last time, and you were keeping the boost secret.
I love the way you just go flying off here.
I did just go from like 7th to... He's dead.
Yeah.
7th to 2nd because I figured out the boost.
Number 1 in my Gucci wheels. Yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good crack.
Yeah.
Do we have any more levels we've unlocked?
Okay, we'll do one more, will we?
We do one more.
Alright.
We're refusing to pick a different car.
Yeah. How about the garage?
Alright.
Or garage, as some people say.
Ooh, I call it a car hole.
Yeah?
No, it's a Simpsons joke.
Alright, sorry. Americans call it like the boot.
Yeah,
or no, the trunk.
Yeah.
Do you know where that came from?
No.
That was a real allusion to like a trunk that we used to have on the back of the cars. Like an actual like box trunk.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's quite cool.
No, it is, isn't it? Told you I like cars. Saw that in Pawn Stars, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
You're mad for that show.
I used to love it more than I do now, but I do still like it. I love to learn about stuff that people think is useless but is worth a lot of money.
I find those shows really frustrating.
Why?
Because someone's like an original Van Gogh, and then they're just like, well, give you €19 for it, and it's just like, oh well,
I gotta frame it, I gotta overhead.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go and get what you want, but you gotta pay commission at the house. Yeah, it's
Then you see it's just like, you know, you look it up, an article, someone finds an old Van Gogh in their attic and sells it on eBay for £1 billion.
Do you know what? I actually thought that the same thing, like that he's ripping people off, but then I saw a show where he had to go to an auction.
Yes. Hold triangle and you can respawn.
And I saw where he was having to actually go to an auction and auction off all his items because there was no one buying them.
Yeah.
And he lost a ton of money.
Yeah, but he's not going to show you the one where he sells someone's thing that you want for nothing.
For sure. But yeah, it's not always.
Whoa.
But anyway.
Not so good now I figured out the old boost, are you?
Where are you placed?
First.
Well, I fell off, didn't I?
Good.
Yeah. We should say that, bit of a spoiler alert, next week, and I say next week for us, who knows when it's going to be for you, we have a very special show.
Yes. You and I will fight to the death. Yeah, we are going to
Yeah, but we're going to tell them?
Why not?
Alright, fine.
I mean, if it's rubbish, we'll tell them it was rubbish. We're going to Gamerfest,
That's
which
right.
is a Dublin... Well, there's a few of them, but we're going to the Dublin-based gaming conference show.
I believe so.
Yeah. So, we don't know what it's like. We're particularly interested in the retro gaming
Yes, well, I am.
Yeah. So, we'll see what it's like.
I get the feeling that we're going to show up there and I'm going to feel like an old man.
You feel like an old man everywhere.
Well, gaming was the last bastion for me, so we shall see. But yeah, so looking forward to that. Looking forward to giving you some insights to the Gamerfest. I hope that we like it and they don't try and sue us if we say it's terrible.
Yeah.
There'll probably be people dressed in cosplay. I will not be cosplaying. Just FYI.
Oh, it's the original Donkey Kong. I am not.
I was trying to find my old Donkey Kong toy to show up in, but
oh, it's brilliant.
yeah, I can't.
I got you that.
Find it. You did get me that, yeah.
God. Yeah, so I don't know. I've never been to one of those things before.
Neither have I. I did go to the retro game, history video game show here before.
Did
in
you?
The Ambassador, yeah, I won tickets to it, by guessing how many times Mario jumped in an ad. And like they basically wanted to give it to me at the end because people kept getting it wrong. So I was like, I kept putting my answers in an email. They were like, no, try again. I was like, okay, try it again, try again. So anyway, I won in the end. Won the free tickets.
I didn't know that at all.
And I think I brought my friend Steve Rooney. Yeah, Steve, if you're watching, hello. Can't remember if I did. I think I did. Anyway, So that's the story. So we'll be at Gamerfest next week. Our millions of fans, prepare yourselves.
For the show, which may come out after we've already been.
Exactly.
So what did you make of that game?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay.
Yeah, look, it's not amazing, but I imagine the more you play, the more you unlock stuff. It's always the way these games go where they want you to get loot boxes. They tend to be fun.
Yeah.
They tend to be quite good fun.
They do. And I mean, who doesn't love unlocking a little cute car?
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah. So anyway, listen guys, thank you for listening to us this week. Hope you enjoyed the show. Next week we'll have more games for you. No, we won't. We'll have Gamerfest.
I have one important thing I want to say. I want to say thank you to my wife for getting us these retro gaming posters we have behind us here, which I think are very cool. We got Castlevania, Sonic 2, and the original Donkey Kong.
Thank you very much, Sarah.
So we will be back next week, and yeah, we'll give you an insight of what Gamerfest is like, assuming it all goes well.
Yep.
Yeah.
We love each and every one of you.
Thank you.
Especially you, Johan.
Thank you, and if you want to get in contact, you can do it. presstheactionbuttonpod@gmail.com. The email, as always, is in the description.
Yes. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.